Welcome to Season 2, Episode 5 of the Superman homepage, My Adventures with Superman podcast, covering Season 2, Episode 5 of the animated series, with the episode titled Most Eligible Superman. This aired on June 16th at midnight and was written by Josie Campbell and directed by Kiki Manrique. The episode starts with a glum Clark Kent walking into the Daily Planet where he runs into Lois Lane. They both start to talk about the other night, but their conversation is interrupted by Perry White, who rushes them into his office, closes the door and pulls down the privacy blind. He wants them to cover Metropolis's most eligible bachelor and bachelorette contest. Cat Grant overhears him and protests. It has always been her assignment. Perry insists he wants Clark and Lois to cover the story because Superman has been listed as one of the finalists, and because the event raises money for the Children's Hospital, Lois is sure he'll be there. Clark kisses Lois as he goes off to find Jimmy. Kat insists Lois take her along because she says she knows Superman's secret. Feeling guilty about the role he played in turning the Pentagon against Superman, Jimmy is trying to send Clark a text message when he stops a young woman from being hit by a truck. The young woman mistakenly thinks Jimmy is leader of the planet and introduces herself as Kara. She asks for his help finding her cousin. Clearly smitten by the girl, Jimmy spots Clark nearby and steers the girl away. Seeing Jimmy with his supervision, Clark wonders why Jimmy is avoiding him. At Metropolis's most eligible bachelor and bachelorette contest, Cat Grant reveals to Lois that she knows Superman is dating one of the other finalists. She wants to figure out who it is so she can figure out Superman's secret identity. Lois goes off to warn Clark and instructs him to act like he's single when he goes on stage. On the streets of Metropolis, Jimmy introduces Kara to ice cream. Kara reveals she's looking for her cousin, who she thinks is a warrior. At the Bachelor and Bachelorette contest, the finalists are introduced. One of them is Hank Henshaw, another is Silver St. Cloud. When Superman arrives, the crowd have many questions. As Superman describes his perfect partner, trying to cover his true feelings, Silver St. Cloud clearly shows an interest in the Man of Steel, much to Lois's discomfort. Hank Henshaw goes on a rant about how dangerous Superman is. Silver St. Cloud reminds him how Superman saved the city against Parasite. Henshaw warns Superman he knows he's a menace before storming off. As Jimmy spends more of his money showing Kara around Metropolis, the two are obviously enjoying each other's company. Back at the contest, Cat Grant is sure Silver St. Cloud and Superman are a couple. Lois protests. Cat laughs at Lois's insistence that she could be dating Superman. On the roof of the Daily Planet building, Jimmy shows Kara the view, while revealing he's having a difficult time talking to his best friend Clark. Something he says resonates with Kara. Jimmy is ready to go talk to Clark, so he takes Kara to the contest where she's annoyed by the noise and flashing lights. Seeing Superman on stage, Jimmy realizes Kara is Superman's cousin. As she approaches the stage, Superman is announced as Metropolis's most eligible bachelor. When Silver St. Cloud gives Superman a kiss on the cheek, Lois runs off. Superman notices and is about to go after her when Kara steps in front of him. Not knowing who she is, Superman dismisses her and goes after Lois. When Superman asks Lois if she's okay, she reveals everything has been getting to her and spills the beans on Vicky Vale's Gotham Gazette job offer. Superman also spills the news that he set off the Kryptonian beacon. Lois breaks down and doubts if their relationship is working. Superman asks her if she's breaking up with him. Before she can answer, Kara storms in. Angry at being dismissed, having answered his beacon, Kara is disappointed at who Superman is. She expected more of him. She gives him a choice: join her in conquering the planet or kneel before the new Kryptonian Empire. Superman tries to reason with her, telling her that the Kryptonian Empire is gone. As she dons Kryptonian armor, a disembodied robotic voice disagrees with him, saying the Kryptonian Empire is eternal. Kara asks the voice for her orders. She's instructed to take Superman down. As Kara attacks, Superman is concerned about the people who could be hurt. He flies away from the building, chased by Kara. In the skies above Metropolis, Kara continues her assault on Superman. As they fight, Kara's armor falls away. As Superman crashes to the street below, worried about the people, Kara looks on at the innocent bystanders, hesitating, until the voice of Brainiac insists she comply. As she fires her heat vision, another new power emerges from Superman. He emits a white energy beam from his mouth. This stops her attack. Brainiac is impressed with the new power and instructs Kara to bring Kal-El to him. As she continues to fight her cousin, Kara knocks him to the ground. Superman tries to reason with her once more, but she knocks him out. As Jimmy and Lois approach in a helicopter, Kara tells her father that she's en route, encasing Superman in a red energy container. Lois and Jimmy watch on helplessly as Superman is taken into space. I gave this episode a 5 out of 5 rating. I don't know what I was expecting from this version of Supergirl, but it wasn't this. I was glad to see the episode started with Clark and Lois still very much in love and being able to show their feelings for one another. I was worried that the events of last episode would have Clark doubting her feelings for him, and while they obviously have stuff they need to talk about, it's not enough to create a rift between them, although the events of this episode definitely create further tension. I was also happy to see that the people of Metropolis, by and large, are still massive fans of Superman. While there are some key characters who are now of the belief that Superman is a menace, thanks to Lex Luthor's recent speech at last episode's Star Labs Symposium, the general populace still adore him. So much so that he's voted Metropolis's most eligible single. While he's actually in a secret relationship with Lois, Superman has to go through with the event, mainly because he's aware that it raised money for charity. While Lois is fine with that at first, her jealousy and uncertainty grow as events escalate, and it culminates in a much-needed conversation between the two of them. Unfortunately, that conversation comes at the cost of Superman realizing he's being approached by his long-lost cousin. Brushing her off at that moment and her thinking he's soft and unbecoming of the situation she finds him in leads her to confront Superman with animosity. It doesn't help that Kara has been raised by Brainiac. This is a whole new take on the character that leaves us with so many questions. Setting her up as the antagonist of Season 2 is definitely an interesting angle and one I didn't see coming. It was cute that she and Jimmy were able to spend a day out on the town together, with the two obviously attracted to one another. Jimmy has had a couple of very interesting developments of late. He's already dodging Clark because he's feeling guilty about how the Star Labs Symposium ended up, and now he's unwittingly fallen for his Kryptonian cousin, who he brought to this event, only for her to get the wrong impression of who Superman is. Jimmy keeps digging new holes for himself. Kara's Zod bracelet and the Kryptonian armor was a surprise. I had my suspicions, but I did not expect her to be so wrathful. She's obviously been brainwashed by her upbringing under Brainiac's care. I can already see she's having some small doubts, which I gather will grow with each episode, but her being an enemy at this point in time is just another devastating blow in what has been a difficult time for Clark of late. Lois had her own emotional rollercoaster ride this episode, mostly thanks to Cat Grant. How she deals with the fact that Clark used the Kryptonian beacon, which resulted in the appearance of his aggressive cousin, will be another story point I'm looking forward to seeing play out. She did warn him. We're halfway through the second season and things have progressed quicker than I anticipated. I'm loving how quickly we're getting to some major events. With My Adventures with Superman, you definitely learn to expect the unexpected. I'm Steve Younis from SupermanHomepage.com.